Thank you for being here today, this day of remembrance. I'd like to thank Mayor Townsend and the City of Fairmont for putting this event on. And sir, I also like to thank you for what you've done and what you continue to do. A Memorial Day to a lot of people is a day off from work, beach trips, barbecues, sales at stores, and rest and relaxation. While we should enjoy our family and friends during this day, and we cannot lose sight of the reason for this day. Other than Christmas, observing the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and Easter, the resurrection, which is the cornerstone of our faith in Christianity. Memorial Day, in my opinion, is the most important day of the year. Memorial Day is a day we remember those who, as Lincoln stated in his Gettysburg Address, gave the full measure of devotion. Our country may have its flaws, but make no mistake, we live in the greatest country in the world. Amen. It is great because of their sacrifice. Men and women who gave their life for our country. You always hear that freedom is not free. That is so true. It is not free. Freedom is paid through the sacrifices of the great men and women who we remember today. Those that were killed at Gettysburg, the Battle of St. Mihiel, Normandy, the Chosin Reservoir, Hamburger Hill, Tora Bora, and Fallujah. Men and women who either volunteered or were drafted into service, who left home, family, and friends to go off to a foreign country to defend freedom and to never return. Franklin Roosevelt described service members at war during his D-Day prayer. He said, "Men's souls will be shaken with the violences of war. For these men are lately drawn from the ways of peace. They fight not for the lust of conquest. They fight to end conquest. They fight to liberate. They fight to let justice arise and tolerance and goodwill among all thy people. They yearn but for the end of battle, for the return to the haven at home. Some will never return. Embrace these, Father, and receive them, thy heroic servants, into thy kingdom." This description is fitting for service members like PFC Dan Bullock, who was born in Goldsboro, who forged his birth certificate at the age of 14 so that he could join the Marines and go to Vietnam. PFC Bullock died at the age of 15, the youngest member to serve in combat, to die in combat. We also have Corporal Mitchell Red Cloud Jr., who posthumously received the Medal of Honor in Korea. Corporal Red Cloud single-handedly held off Chinese forces despite being shot 8 times, and at one point ordered his men to tie him to a tree because he was too weak to stand. We also have somebody from here, First Lieutenant Josh Dees from Roland. Josh graduated from South Robertson High School and University of North Carolina at Pembroke. He was an infantry officer with the United States Army. And in 2006, he was killed when an IED detonated near his vehicle in Iraq. Josh left behind a mother, a father, sisters, and a host of family and friends, and a young son. We remember warriors like Josh and others today, along with their families they left behind. As John 15:13 states, "Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends." Words cannot do justice to the sacrifice they have made on behalf of a grateful country. The sacrifice of missing weddings, Christmases, and seeing their children grow up. So if words cannot do their sacrifice justice, what shall we do? President Kennedy stated that as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. We honor the sacrifices made by these great warriors by living lives that empower people and communities. Live lives that give and not take, that lift up and not degrade, that break down walls instead of building them up. By helping those in need and ensuring that everyone has a shot at the American dream. The issues we face in this community, in this county, does not require of us the kind of sacrifices made by the warriors we remember here today. However, it does require our best effort to make the community we live in better, to resolve the differences we may have, so that our citizens and our children can grow up in a greater place. We can start by volunteering at our churches, by volunteering in our schools, by volunteering in our communities. Just 30 minutes of our time can make a difference in someone's life. We can honor our fallen by having our fellow man see a servant's heart in all of us. Let us not just observe Memorial Day on the last Monday of May, but throughout the year. It is the least we can do for the ones who sacrificed everything for the freedoms that we enjoy today. Remember, the freedoms we sometimes take for granted are not free. And as we leave here today, let's keep the families of the ones who gave the last full measure of devotion in our prayers. Thank you so much.